You're listening to the audio production of Creation, Power and Truth, The Gospel in a World of Cultural Confusion by N.T. Wright. Published by Zondervan and read by James Langton. A note before we begin. Don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. It contains reflection questions and will be referred to throughout as the enhancement. To a wise and generous friend. Preface. This book is based on the Noble Lectures, which I was privileged to give in the Memorial Chapel at Harvard University in the autumn of 2006, as the guest of the Reverend Professor Peter Gomes. I was and am very grateful to Peter for the invitation and for his cheerful and engaging hospitality. I have not attempted to add very much to what was said in the lectures, except for some tidying up and light editing, in view of the official responses I received at the time from Professors François Beauvant, Sarah Coakley, and David Hempton. I am very grateful to them all. Harvard has been a special place for me ever since I was a visiting professor there myself in 1999, and it was a delight to renew old friendships and to be able to test out ideas with a friendly but not uncritical audience. As will become apparent, the book is an attempt to bridge a gulf. People who write about current cultural and political matters, even from a Christian point of view, do not often engage with the Bible in any detail. Biblical scholars regularly repay the compliment. We are all inevitably specialists these days, and we know the dangers of intruding in subject areas where we are less qualified. Nevertheless, the attempt must be made from time to time, and it seemed to me that since I was living at the time with one foot in the world of biblical scholarship and the other in the world of current affairs in both church and state, there was something to be said for having a go. When I thought my way through the various issues that seemed to me important and realized that the material would fall nicely into a Trinitarian pattern, I decided that the 3-lecture invitation from Harvard had found its answer. Things have moved on, of course. The original lectures were given when the Iraq conflict was in full swing. Dan Brown's book, The Da Vinci Code, was still being widely discussed, but the issues raised thereby have not gone away. If anything, they have intensified in complexity. The topics are still not only relevant, but in my view, urgent. As this book was going to press, I came upon a new novel by the best-selling Brazilian author Paulo Coelho, entitled Manuscript Found in Accra, New York, Alfred A. Knopf, 2013. It purports to be a transcription of the wise teachings of a Copt, given in 1099, when the Crusaders were about to invade Jerusalem. In fact, it contains numerous wisdom sayings, some of which echo Khalil Gibran, some of which sound a bit like the teaching of Jesus, and most of which sound like classic, dreamy, postmodern quasi-spirituality. Coelho writes a preface in which he hints at a tenuous link between this document and the so-called Gnostic Gospels found at Nag Hammadi. There follows a passage which is pure Dan Brown, suggesting that the 4 Gospels in the New Testament were selected from a much larger set of possible contenders for reasons that many today would regard as spurious. Once again, what we are offered, by implication, over and against the teaching of the 4 canonical Gospels, is a soft, squashy version of Gnosticism. Who we are, what we fear, and what we hope for the future come from the knowledge and belief that can be found within us, and not from the adversity that surrounds us. Quoted from the book's dust jacket. The immense popularity of this kind of thing shows that the appeal of Gnosticism is as powerful today as when I gave the original lectures. The Noble Lectures were founded by Nanny Yuli Noble. Her stated aim was to arouse in young people, and primarily in the students of that great university, the joy of service for Christ and humanity, especially in the ministry of the Christian Church. I hope I have in some measure contributed to that cause. Tom Wright.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?